A state of emergency has been declared in Timaru, and people in flood-prone areas are on alert in case they need to evacuate after heavy rain caused havoc across the lower South Island. In Dunedin, sandbags are being given out to those in low-lying areas, and the emergency services will be on watch overnight in case the conditions get even worse. Rachel Graham has more.
Persistent rain flooded multiple roads around Christchurch, Ashburton and Timaru, as well as many of the state highways in the region. The conditions were so bad this afternoon that a general warning was issued, saying that anyone that could avoid travelling on State Highway 1, south of Christchurch, should avoid it. Holly Hollander was heading into Christchurch from Akaroa this morning in heavy rain, when she had a lucky escape.
All of a sudden I noticed movement on the side of the road, and it was like it happened in slow motion. The bank gave way and this massive pine tree just went falling right in front of me. So luckily I wasn't driving too fast because the road was, fairly wet, and anyway, so I just managed to stop quickly. But I was very lucky. I was counting my blessings, that's for sure, this morning, because 2 seconds later and I could have been under that tree.
Ms Hollander says there has been quite a lot of flooding and debris around Akaroa, but it had started to subside by late afternoon. Sandy Newell from the Rakaya Holiday Park and Motels says they're starting to get customers who are after a bed for the night because they don't want to venture out any further in the hideous weather. When she drove from Ralston to Rakaya today, the road was almost impassable.
It's pretty wet out there, and the traffic is just crawling because of the water on the road. Well, we're on a four-wheel drive, so we're fine. But I wouldn't like to be in a little car. I think they'd be getting a little bit nervous about travelling through the water. There's signs out that the transit or whoever does the roading have done a good job so far, but I think it's just going to keep getting worse.
In Queenstown, strong crosswinds caused all flights in and out of the airport to be cancelled this afternoon, with no seats available for rebooking until at least Monday. In Timaru, there is concern that rising river levels could lead to houses needing to be evacuated. This afternoon, the council declared a state of emergency and warned that people in flood-prone areas need to be ready to evacuate at short notice. They are also recommending that anyone who feels unsafe leaves without waiting for an official notification. The heaviest rain has now settled in the lower South Island, and the Otago Regional Council is also on watch in case of any flooding. Chris Hawker from Emergency Management Otago says they're most worried about Waitaki and Dunedin City. He says people can help by ensuring they are prepared.
There's a number of things that people can do and have a look at their own situations and just make sure that if they feel that they've got vulnerabilities, that they've got clear access out of their properties. If there are issues that start to develop, they need to advise, I suppose, initially emergency services if they've got urgent issues. But we will certainly be talking to our communities on a relatively regular basis, letting them know what's happening and what we believe is likely to happen.
Mr Hawker says the Red Cross is already standing by, and the Defence Force have offered up a contingent of soldiers who are in the area. He says his team will be on duty overnight and monitoring the situation in case conditions deteriorate further. For Checkpoint, Rachel Graham.